Good morning, and I believe I'm the first this morning, so welcome to everybody in the network of women, and thank you ever so much to Lindsay for organising what is going to be a brilliant event. I'm very much looking forward to seeing some of you and a little bit about you and what you do. My name is Zoe Furnivall. I'm a vocal performance expert, and today I'm here because I want to talk about my business, which is called Own Your Voice. And if you're willing, I want to offer you a free vocal diagnostic assessment, which I'll talk a bit more about at the end. So the one thing I have to do is just make sure I have my timer there, because I am a talker, don't mind admitting that, and I need to make sure that I stay on time today, so I'm going to make sure that my clock is right there and I'm watching. Okay, so, I can see that Joe's there. Hello, Joe. Hope the brownies are all doing good at the moment. Right, I shall get on with things, otherwise I shall be talking to people who make comments and things and I shall never get on with what I'm doing. So I want to start with a song, and the reason I'm starting with a song is that music is my passion. It might not necessarily be your passion, but it is my passion. And I've picked this one because at the beginning of lockdown, I used to be a primary teacher, I ought to say that, but at the beginning of lockdown I had some of my ex-pupils contact me. Now bear in mind that the last time I saw most of them, they were 11 years old. I was a primary teacher, and they were now in their mid to late 20s. And the one thing they said to me is what made them feel really better every day going into school was to hear this song. This was the one that they named. So what I did is I went live during lockdown and I sang this one, and I sang quite a few other songs on that as well, but this is the one that they all asked for. They said this cheered them up even when they were having a really bad day. So I'm going to do it now, and hopefully it'll cheer everyone up. It's called Lean On Me. I think you might know this one. Sometimes in our lives we all have pain, we all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. It won't be long till I'm gonna be somebody to lean on. You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'd understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. Oh, it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. Oh, it won't be long till I'm gonna be somebody to lean on. I'm going to end it there because otherwise I'm going to end up just singing for the whole time, and I'm very aware of your time. So I'll put my guitar down over there. Now singing, I sometimes confuse people. Singing is my passion. I am a singing teacher. I work in schools teaching singing. In fact, I've got to go into school after this. It's really annoying because I thought I was going to get a day off today, so I thought, oh yes, I'll do this thing and then I'll watch everyone else's lives and I'll get into it. But actually I've ended up having to go into school, so apologies if after this I run off and I do that, but I will come back and I'll have a look at some of your live performances later, because it is my subject of interest and expertise. So what I wanted to do is to explain to you how the music and how everything fits together, and tell you what I'm all about. I can see Lindsay saying, oh, thank you, Lindsay, such a beautiful song. Thank you. It is a good song, that one, isn't it? It was like a first day of the week, first kind of like, what are we going to do? Let's get our energy up. Let's have a little sing song. So anyway, there's that. So I've put a heart up here because music is very much my passion. It's what makes my heart beat faster. And I think that's always a good place to start in your business. I've put that up there to remind me to tell you about the diagnostic assessment as well. Also, I ought to point out, I am following a plan. It may not appear to be the case, but I am following a plan. Here it is. This is what I use with my clients as well. It's called the Plan, Prompt and Present plan. You can ask me for a copy of this if you want. I'm quite happy to share it with people. And basically, it tells me to do an opening. Let's check if I've done it. I've told you that I'm a vocal performance expert. I've sung a song. I've mentioned the diagnostic assessment, which I'm going to come back to later. Okay, so now I can go into point 1. So basically, my business starts with its name, Own Your Voice. Now, when I first came up with this, I was so pleased with that phrase. I thought, oh yeah, that explains it all. People will get it. People will know exactly what I mean. Only to then discover that they didn't necessarily. So this is how I'm going to explain it. It starts with my passion. Now, as you might have gathered, my passion is music. My daughter did that. I thought that was so lovely, I had to use it. It kind of sums me up quite well, actually. It's a keyboard and daisies and stuff and a guitar. Anyway, that is my passion, so I'm going to put that in the middle because that's what I'm about. Own your voice to me means I work with people on their voices all the time, but me owning my voice, well, as I'm owning my voice now as I stand up here talking to you, but my main method is to sing on stage. I sing with a band, I sing with various other people, and I go out and I do it live. So that is my passion, so that goes in the centre. Now, it's not enough, is it? I mean, when people come to me for singing lessons, they don't want to just sing. They don't just want to sing at home by themselves in their bedrooms. They're actually about something more. So it occurred to me that actually what I'm really trying to do is this, and this was the best phrase I could come up with. They want to wow the crowd. It's not enough just to perform. They actually want to make the crowd feel something, engage the crowd, get them motivated. So I reckon this is actually probably my most important outcome for the people that I work with. They really want their crowd to see what they're doing and think, wow, that's amazing, I want to be part of that. And the way that you get from that to that is me. Yes, that's my avatar there. And I kind of, that's a bit self-indulgent, but I kind of see myself as waving the magic wand and helping them transform into this amazing thing on stage or online or on camera or whatever your platform happens to be. So I help people to do that. Now, of course, not everybody is a musician and not everybody wants to play music. So let's get rid of that for a moment. And let's just imagine I've got one of my clients. So I'm going to put her in the middle. And I'm calling her Miranda. Okay. Now, Miranda wants to own her voice and wow the crowd, but she's got a different message than me. So maybe she's got a message about recycling material, saving the environment, or maybe she's a spiritual healer, or it doesn't matter. Whatever her message is, that is her passion. That is what she's passionate about. So I will help her to engage her audience through whatever method that she chooses. So because we're doing a Facebook Lives today, let's talk about Facebook Lives. Now, there's something that always comes up when I work with people, especially if they're performing live for the first time. And I kind of summed it up in that one, really. A lot of people look like that or feel like that on the inside, even if they don't necessarily say that on the outside. So this is Miranda. Miranda is thinking about doing a Facebook Live. Let's say it's about her spiritual healing business. I worked with a spiritual healer the other day, so I'm going to imagine that this is her. Now, I reckon she's there because she's not really at the stage where she's owning her voice because she's scared. She's scared to go live. Maybe she's quite happy talking one-to-one or in conversation with people, but the thought of actually pushing a button, like lots of you are going to do today, is really, really scary. So there's stuff holding her back. So part of my business has evolved into this, helping people to do this, face your fears. And I'm going to put that one above Miranda there because that's really important, because until you do that you can't own your voice and you can't wow the crowd. Now, I'm using fears in quite a wide sense because if I talk about performance fears, people sometimes mention the word stage fright, and they've got very specific ideas about what that is. But by performance fears, I'm talking about all of the things that come up. So stage fright or performance anxiety might range from just a few little butterflies in your stomach to full on, like, I'm not going, I'm not doing that, I'm not speaking in public, I don't want anyone to see me. So it's the seriousness of it ranges hugely according to the individual, and that's where it comes back to the individual person again, because really there isn't one size that fits all. There isn't one solution that will sort that out and get you to there, I get you to there. It just doesn't work like that. I know, because I've tried. I've really tried. Because everyone's always saying to you, no, niche down, find your niche, find your method, show everyone your method, do one thing. Doesn't work, because I work with individuals who are all different and all have different needs in the middle. So what we do is we talk about their particular fears and we uncover those first of all. So I find that, well, you tell me. In fact, if you have a specific performance fear, tell me underneath, because I am having a little look there. Oh, let's see. So Joy has just said, for instance, great start to the day. I love music. Thank you, Joy. But yes, tell me, if you have a specific fear, mention it underneath and I'll have a look. I am assuming, because of all the people that I've worked with, and I have worked with people for about 30 years now, so it's quite a long time, that it nearly always comes down to that, as I am not something enough. I'm not good enough, perhaps, is the most obvious one to go. Well, if you're not good enough at what? What are we talking about exactly? Are we talking about talking? Because most people are quite good at talking. Or are we talking about talking in front of an audience? Are we talking about public performance? Do you not really feel like an expert in your subject? Is that why you're saying you're not good enough? Because if you have a passion and it's something that you're really involved with, you've got something important to say. You've got something that people are going to want to hear. So the I'm not good enough thing needs tackling. Instead of good enough, maybe you're going to say, I'm not prepared enough. Well, that's fair enough. Okay, let's get you prepared then. Let's actually look at what you need to do in order to be prepared to do it. Sometimes I hear things like, I'm not young enough. I'm too old for this. I can't learn all this new tech. I can't do new things. That's all rubbish. It's been proved time and time again that you're as old as you feel. So your attitude is something that you can change. And the way that you feel about things, your emotional state is something that you can change. And I have proved this with my clients time and time again. I'm not saying it's easy, but it can be done. So basically, we've got Miranda and her fears. Now she might fear that she's not good enough. She might have insecurities over her content, for instance. So we might need to look at, well, what is it that she's actually saying? What's the best way of structuring that, of explaining that, to make it work? And that's where it comes back into the own your voice again. Now that's deliberately, it's about your voice, your message, what you want to say. Now I worked for 15 years as a primary teacher. I did music. I also was the literacy coordinator. I was the special needs coordinator. I was a member of the governing body. I did quite a lot of different roles. So I have lots of different experiences. And teaching English, teaching structuring an argument, for instance, or storytelling, those are all things that fall within my expertise. So I can help you with content in that way. But I can also help you in terms of using different strategies to face your fears. So I did a diploma in neurolinguistic programming. That's one particular method. I've got CBT. I did a positive psychology master certificate recently, and I'm also a music psychologist. I got my master's in music psychology just last year. So I'm always learning, because there's always more methods that can help different people. So there's a whole different range of strategies I can use to help you get to grips with, first of all, what your fears are. Sometimes just being aware of them is enough. And then being able to manage them so that you can get to a point where you're sharing them with people. Okay, so that's where I take people from. From there, we go through owning your voice, your own individual message, what you want to say, and we get to a point where you can wow the crowd. Now, this bit, people worry about this bit, because they say, well, how can I influence other people? Well, actually, you don't, because really, although this one appears to be about other people, it's not really. It's about you. Because if you are passionate and interested and knowledgeable about your subject, then you are going to wow the crowd anyway. You're going to wow the right crowd, the people that want to hear that message. What you want when you go live on Facebook, you don't want people hanging around if they're not interested in what you're talking about. What's the point of that? You want people to stay who are hearing you and know that your message is something they need to hear. So it's about wowing the right crowd. It's about impressing. Impressing is the wrong word. I don't mean impressing. I mean influencing, having impact upon the right crowd, making them go, yeah, this is something I need to get involved with. This is something I need to do. As a lead singer of a band, I'm trying to do this all the time. I'm trying to get people to dance. I'm trying to get people to feel my music emotionally. So I'm wowing them in an emotional sense, I suppose. And I think the emotional persuasion is probably a way to go. Some people don't like the thought of this because they feel that they're in some way not being themselves. But if you go through this process where you're actually using your message, then of course you're being yourself. You're just being a selective version of yourself, which we do all the time, don't we? I mean, we walk down the street, we're not going to do exactly the same things and say exactly the same things as we would if we're at home sitting on the sofa. So we choose different versions of ourselves to give to people. And wowing the crowd is all about choosing the focus, knowing what to put in the spotlight and when, and in front of what audience. So I hope I'm making myself clear. I'm saying lots of words. I'm aware I'm saying lots of words. I'm also aware of the time. What is it? 9:48. Okay. So that's where I'm going with this. What else did I want to show you? Oh yes, I was going to mention, I have all these kind of bits of paper because I have primary teacher background, so you know, whiteboards, bits of stuff. What can I say? It just doesn't work so well on a PowerPoint display. It's just I can't pick them up and move them. You know, it's just I love it doing it this way. So those are the three aspects. I suppose this one is up there already, but that becomes part of my business too. So I've ended up with 3 foci, is that the correct word? Focuses, I don't like focus. Right, I've got 3 parts to my business, 3 that I work on. And of course you can start at any particular area because you might find that you're already doing this, thank you very much, so you just want a bit of help in the spotlight. Or you might find that you're right here and you can't really go any further because you're stuck there somewhere. I was going to show you, yes, they dropped off, I thought they might do. I have sort of 3 strategies that I use in order to make that work and to make that a cycle. And it starts with knowledge, so I'm going to put that one there, or know. And that's often what you think of yourself, and it's not necessarily what everyone else thinks of you. It's very complicated. So knowledge is really important. Where's my second one? Oops, there it is. Trying to fly away. Grow, I've put. I like, ooh, okay. Grow is on the floor, but anyway, there you go. And the last one's show. So we've got grow, know, grow, and show. There we go. Try again. Press in the middle this time. And that's basically a simple way of trying to explain my process. That's what I help people to do, is knowledge, then growth, then some sort of accountability, some sort of feedback, some sort of show. Doesn't have to be a big high stakes one. A small stakes thing will do. Anyway, I can see that I am getting closer to my time. Lindsay is talking to me. Let's just have a look at what you're saying. So Lindsay, it's so true. We know how it begins. I'm not good enough. Yeah. What can we do? You know, I mean, the thing is, I've got 30 years of performing and I can still have those moments where I think, oh, I'm not good enough. And I have to kind of refocus. I think, what am I really talking about? What I'm really talking about is I'm not good enough at this new song that I'm in the middle of learning, but that's okay because I'm learning it. And that's what practice is. So as long as you're specific and you really kind of look down, look underneath, peel off the layers, you can usually get to the bottom of it. And Lindsay said, I totally recommend Zoe, a beautiful lady who I've known for 5+. Yeah, it was a long time ago, wasn't it, actually? We did a visibility challenge together. 5 years, is it? I can't remember, in all honesty. I know I was living somewhere else then. Anyway, oh yes, right. So this is what I need to tell you about. In my plan, which, believe it or not, I am following, it's here. I've actually got at the end that I need to tell you about my free diagnostic assessment. So if you like what I'm saying, or just some of what I'm saying, you would like a little sample of what it might involve, then I am going to share with you a link where you can ask for a free diagnostic assessment. And you don't have to, people sometimes panic when I say that, sounds ever so diagnostic, as oh my goodness, I'm going to have to perform, I'm going to have to send out videos, I'm going to have to, you don't have to do any of that. Because the way that we start is just by me asking you questions. So if you decide you're going to do a free diagnostic assessment, it only involves you answering questions totally in private. Actually, it's on a Google form. So I just give you a link to a Google form. You answer some questions. That's all it involves. It doesn't involve having to do anything in front of anybody else or anything. Then I get your results, I have a look at them, and I will email you a personal response to that. It'll be just what I see, what I pick up from the answers that you've given. Obviously, it's not as good as actually coming and working alongside me, but it's something that might help, it might point you in the right direction. So, if you would like to do that, I'm going to share a link with you after I finish this video, and just say, me please, or can I have the diagnostic assessment please, or just, yes, make it simple on yourselves, you know, let's not strain the grey cells too early in the morning, but just indicate that you'd like it. If I should suddenly get 1,000 people ask for it, okay, yes, I'm going to struggle, and that will take me a little while. So I'm going to say I shall definitely do the first 20 people to ask within the next week or so, because I'm quite quick at these, I'm used to doing them. If it's any more than that, there might be a little bit more of a delay on that. So if you want to be sure that I'm going to do it and get it to you, then make sure that you're one of the first 20 people to click on the link and complete it. Okay, now I'm looking at the time. I think I'm going to finish slightly early, because I know there's a delay on these things, and I want time for the next person to get ready and to feel comfortable. So I'm going to leave you by saying, very nice to meet you. Thank you very much to Lindsay, and good luck to all of you performing today. I'm sure it will be okay. And if you want to contact me at any point in the future, you can. I'm going to be in school for the rest of the day now. This was not good planning on my behalf, but I will read all your comments later, and I will watch your videos at some point as well. So do take care, and I'll see you again. Thank you.